Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья. Аббревиатура, которую рассказали, знаете, мы доносим до не только газет.
We delivered not only to oil and gas industry, we're trying to convey the ideal day so that everything would be 100% ideal, and that's what I would like to tell you about. But for this, because we work with people, I would like to work with you as well. In the beginning, I would like to ask you, who speaks English? Please lift your hands. English speakers. Who speaks Russian? I would like to see your hands. So then I will speak Russian. Who speaks German? Hans. Do you speak Deutsch? Yeah? Oh, here's one more person. But because there are only three of us, we'll continue in Russian. Is this microphone works? Well, I would like to move in the audience because we will ask you a lot of questions, dear friends. I would like to speak about human factor and human mistakes which are happening with the project. The question number one to the audience, what is a human factor to you? Who wants to answer to me? By the way, I forgot to tell you, everybody who participates will get a prize on the second floor. And those who are participating, you become volunteers. So you're looking at me with big eyes. So what is a human factor to you? What is your name? My name is Sergey. Well, from the point of view of this picture flipped over, this sheep that was flipped over, human factor is lack of competency, errors, mistakes. Yes, wonderful. I'm always surprised. I come to Russia very often and I work on Russian drilling. When Russian drillers and ask them questions, they become modest men. Thank you very much for telling me that, and this is absolutely true. When we're listening on if we're going to believe to the definition from the book about human factors, James Reason was writing about model of Swiss cheese, if you've been listening to this. And this is an error which happens when, in principle, we cannot do something. For example, we don't achieve an objective that we have set ahead of ourselves, as you properly said, due to a number of those reasons that you mentioned. Well, I would like to speak about statistics. In aviation, all the incidents which are happening, 70% of them can be connected to the human factor. It's about 66%. In nuclear sphere, 52%. Who has an idea how many incidents can be defined to a human factor in oil and gas sector? 70%? Who has another number? 90%? Who said 90%? I'm watching you. There's going to be a prize, believe me. What is your name? Alexei, 90% you said. Okay, let's go back to this question in a minute. Who recognizes this picture? Who knows what is it? Nobody? Nobody recognizes it? This is a result of KLM flight, 27th of March, 1977. It's the worst catastrophe in civil aviation. 538 people died in one day. Who recognizes this picture? Challenger, yes. Finally, a lady. My name is Maya. Beautiful name. It's a Challenger Catastrophe. It's American space shuttle, which unfortunately wasn't able to land. Not just wasn't able to land, it exploded in the air. 17% of American population have been watching this incident in direct broadcasting on TV. Gigantic damage to the space industry. Gigantic numbers were spent. 7 people died, amongst them a teacher who won a lottery to fly to the outer space. Who knows these pictures? Maya. Well, I'm not going to have so many prizes for you, Maya. The first one. It's Macomba. Deepwater Horizon, yes. 20th of April, Macomba in Mexico, Gulf of Mexico, Deepwater Horizon, 11 people died. Let's move on. 6th of July, 1988. Who recognizes that? You know that? Okay. In Northern Sea, it was purely human factor. Yes, it's an example. It's a Swiss cheese model. 166 people died in few minutes. 23rd of March 2005. Who knows this incident? It's also PP. It's a popal. It was a little bit earlier. This is 23rd of March 2005 in Texas. A plant have exploded and 15 people died. Human factor. 180 got different damages. And on the right bottom, who recognizes that image? Bottom right. Petrobras platform accident. Yes, it's a Petrobras P-36, 20th of January 2001. 11 people died. And a lot of people with injuries. So let's go back to statistics. We've heard 90%. Okay, let's figure out, what do you think? How many incidents can we assign to infrastructural problems? You will do mathematics right now. Who has any assumptions? 5.1. Technical, how many incidents you can assign to equipment malfunctioning? So what do you think? 5.3% can be assigned. How much of it you can assign to weather conditions? Are you from Sakhalin? 10% you say? 4.4% can be assigned. And this is a pure mathematics. You were very close. 85.2% can be assigned to human factor. So what is a human factor? Yes, if we read records, if we define all these incidents, Deepwater Horizon, and other ones, and all other ones, we see a general picture. This is awareness about the condition, decision-making, bad communications or the absence of communications, bad teamwork, or poor leadership. And these are things that we mean by human factor. And by the way, back lines, don't forget about safety, operational safety. So what do we see in this picture? We see drillers, we see space people, surgeons, and what do they have in common? High-risk professions. What else do they have in common? Lives of other people depend on them. They work together. Who else have any options? Yes, I'm moving to you. Will we have so many prizes? Are we going to have so many prizes? I'm listening to you. Decision-making process should be on a very high level. Yes, that's absolute truth. Everything you said, it's right. The level of trainings, they have very good level of trainings. In drilling, we use simulators like special forces, like cosmonauts, and in the middle picture we have a director. Also in medicine, we use all of these. I would like to show you a small animation. You will see in the course of 24 hours how many airplanes are flying all over the world. In the course of the year, 37.6 flights. 37.6. So what do you think, what is the ratio, percentage-wise, about reliability of aviation? 50%, 60, 70, 90%. What is the reliability of aviation? It's going to 100%. It's moving to 100% reliability. 98, 99% reliability. Fortunately, he is right. If it would be just 99%, I would say that none of us wouldn't fly. It means that 10 times a week you would see dropping airplanes. It would be the end of air industry. We do get these lessons, and we transfer it not from on aviation, but special forces and other highly responsible activities, and we transfer it not only to oil and gas sphere, but also construction and other industries. So the only thing which is new for us is that we look at aviation, and they hold this human factor trainings for 50 years. We're just adopting it in oil and gas sphere. This is a report from the year 2014. It was written about GP as an organization with recommendations to how you can implement it in oil and gas sphere. And there is nothing new about it. 2014, like 5 years ago. But what is crew resource management? It's the old Russian word. Crew resource management. Who has any idea what it means? You hear it for the first time? Interesting. But we can divide it into 6 key skills. Orientation in situation, decision-making, communication, teamwork, leadership, and human subjective factors, which we just been discussing. Also, I would like to present to you what is situational awareness. How do you like the picture? So what about situational awareness of this particular person? Very low. You're absolutely right. Can you say in your own words, what is situational awareness? Who could risk and define it? Maya, would you define it? It's understanding of risks or some other factors which could influence your actions. Well, that's what it is. It's a difference between what we are thinking of what is happening around us and what really is happening around us. And this is a gigantic difference. Why? I'm going to tell you, and I will be able to demonstrate it to you. Let's see a small video. It's more understandable, and it will give you the difference. This is bank robbery. They've successfully done it. They run, and something went wrong here. Situational awareness on the law enforcement agencies was very bad. Why do you think it's a big difference of what's happening around us and what really happens?
As a matter of fact, it's very easy. It's like all of us are working regardless of our social status and education. This is the way our brains function. This awareness is happening in 3 stages. First, collecting information, interpretation information, and trying to forecast events in the future. It's done automatically in our brains. Please tell me, how long have we been speaking about the collecting information? How much information do you have around you in every moment of time? Anybody? It can be measured in bits. Gigabits? No, I'm not an IT guy, definitely. How much is 1 gigabit? Ninth what? Okay, give me any idea. 100,000 bits? 1 million bits? 1 million is 6 zeros, right? 1 billion 1 billion is a little bit too much. Any other ideas? How many bits of information we have around us? 100 million. I mean, so much information. Actually, it's about 11 million. Every second, 11 million bits of information. How many bits do you think our brain can comprehend in any moment of time? 5%? 10%? Anything else? 50%. You know, you guys are an amazing company. Actually, only 40. So, out of 11 bits of information, our brain can comprehend only 40. This is scary, plain scary. And this is about the smells we're surrounded by, the colors, the sounds, everything that we are surrounded with. I would like to demonstrate to you, for you to have a clear idea. And also, I need your involvement, your participation. Anybody has mechanical watch, not digital, but mechanical watch with you? Everybody has a digital watch? Cool. Tell me, how long have you had this watch? No, I mean, how many years have you been wearing this watch? About 5 years. Does anybody has a mechanical watch which are older than 5 years? 12 years, you say. Can I borrow your watch just for a second? Okay, then I'll be standing right next to you. So 12 years. 12 years. Don't worry, I'm not going to take it. 12 years. Please tell me, how often do you look at your watch? How many times a day? Over 10 times. Statistics tell us about 40 times a day we check our watch. Can you please help me with a calculator? So if we 12 years times 40 times 360 times 40, tell me what's the number? 4,300. I think it should be more. It should be more. It should be about 42,000. Now, the question. What is your belt strap? Is it a leather strap? It's a brown leather strap on your watch. And the watch is square or round? It's like the barrel type. And the numbers are Roman or Latin? Roman numbers on your Zifferblatt. So you have like 12 and then 1. All 12 hours are indicated on your panel, right? All 12 hours. Roman numbers, Roman letters. Okay. Okay. And let me stop right here because you do not have any numbers on your watch at all. I mean, no. Do you confirm it? Yes. No numbers. So, friends, it's one small example of how bad we are at taking in the information. Although, for 12 years you're wearing this on your wrist, but your brains are filtering because you do not need this information. This is very important to know because you can deal with it. You can fine-tune your brain and you can transfer it into your workplace. If you are in drilling, if you're a drill master and you'll be telling your drill master every day before your workday, this is what you have to focus, this is what you have to do, then his brain filters will be tuned. They will be actually doing it every day. They'll be seeing and hearing this information. His brain will be able to comprehend this information. So if for 12 or 15 years we are wearing a small timepiece on our wrist, we cannot even remember whether we have the numbers on it or not. Doesn't make any use. But speaking about the sensors, how many sensors we have, how much equipment we have all over us, and we have to use this knowledge and work with the highest rate of efficiency. We have checklists that we're using, digital ones. We have simulators where we are using the leadership training programs and etc. So we are trying to minimize so-called the human factor as much as we can. Thank you, friends. If you do not have any questions, it was a pleasure to speak for you. Thank you.